Hey guys, Denver James here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Zombie Kittens card game. I'm going to be breaking down how it works, what's great about it, what's not so great about it, and my overall thoughts on the game. If you'd like to see more review videos like this one, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single upload. Let's talk about how the game works. First off, you need to know that this is a standalone variation of the base game, meaning that this version of Exploding Kittens can be played without the original pack. But it can also be combined with the original set, as well as the various expansion packs. This version of the game comes jam-packed with brand new cards, making it an entirely different experience. Hopefully this helps. The object of the game is to avoid getting blown up by the nefarious Exploding Kitten card, which in this case can only be shut down by the invaluable Zombie Kitten card. To start, you're going to remove all of the Exploding Kitten cards from the deck. Give each player one Zombie Kitten card, and then deal an additional 7 cards to each player. Everyone should have a total of 8 cards in their hand. After this, shuffle the rest of the Exploding Kitten cards and the rest of the Zombie Kitten cards back into the deck. There should be enough Exploding Kitten cards to blow up everyone but one person, meaning that if 4 people are playing, you're going to want to shuffle in 3 Exploding Kitten cards into the draw pile. Now you're ready to start the game. Your turn starts by choosing whether or not to play any of the cards in your hand. Keep in mind that this game is loaded with special action cards to help you avoid the Exploding Kitten card at all costs. You can play as many cards as you'd like during your turn. You also have the option to not play any cards during your turn. When you're ready to end your turn, you're going to draw a card from the draw pile, and then the next player's turn will begin. In the instance that you draw an Exploding Kitten card, you can use a Zombie Kitten card to defuse the bomb. At this point, you're going to put the Zombie Kitten card in the discard pile, and then you're going to put the Exploding Kitten card anywhere you'd like in the draw pile. But with this version of the game, it doesn't end there. After relocating the Exploding Kitten card, you can bring back one dead player from the game. The game ends when only one person is left standing. Let's talk about what's great about this game. As a fan of all things Exploding Kittens, I was really excited to crack this version open. Let me assure you, Zombie Kittens does not disappoint. This game comes loaded with zany new power cards, such as the game-changing Zombie Kitten card. The fact that dead players can re-enter the game totally mixes up the Exploding Kittens formula, and I love that. It even includes the clone cards from the Exploding Minions set, which seem really well suited for this version of the game. Another thing that I love about Zombie Kittens are the new and unique animations on the cards. From zombies to witches to mad scientists, this game is loaded with brand new designs that rank as some of the best in the series. The fact that the overall aesthetic kind of has this old-timey horror vibe to it also makes it a standout in its own right. Let's talk about what's not so great about this game. I've mentioned this before concerning other Kittens related games, but the more variations and versions and expansion packs of this game that they come out with, the more bloated this series becomes. Sure, this game can be played on its own, but the makers of the game encourage you to combine it with their other versions, because of course they want you to. While I would love to mix in the fun and quirky power-ups of the Zombie Kitten set with my other expansion packs, I really don't look forward to playing this behemoth of a card game that takes 1 hour to play. For this reason, I'm going to be playing this version of the game completely on its own. Despite that, Zombie Kittens is a delightful, creepy crawly addition to the Kitten series and is a worthy addition to my gaming library. The spooky animations are as good as ever, the newfound cards add variety to the standard gameplay, and it's packed with enough fun to be experienced entirely on its own. If you're questioning whether or not to pull the trigger on it, my answer is an absolute yes. Should you treat Zombie Kittens like an expansion pack or a base game? I'll be answering that question right here in this video. To start, it's worth noting that Zombie Kittens is technically a new base game in the series. This is evident in a number of ways. First off, the word expansion doesn't show up anywhere in the game. Secondly, it lists the number of players as being from 2 to 5, making it playable all on its own. And lastly, the whole game is centered around the theme of zombified felines. Needless to say, this game's got its own thing going on apart from the rest of the Exploding Kittens universe. Despite this, the game does encourage you to combine it with your Exploding Kittens collection, in the same way that you would add an expansion pack to the base game. So which is it? In a lot of ways, Zombie Kittens does act a lot like an expansion. Rather than being a jazzed up re-release of the original game, this set introduces over half a dozen new cards, such as the Feed the Dead card, the Attack of the Dead card, and many others. These cards add a whole new dynamic to the original game, in the same way that Imploding Kittens did when it was first released. It's for reasons like this that Zombie Kittens could be interpreted by many as the latest new expansion to the Exploding Kittens world. On the other hand, this game makes a strong effort to stand apart from what's been done before, in the same way that a new base game would. Even the original Diffuse card itself is replaced by the Zombie Kitten card, a card that not only diffuses an exploding kitten, but also resurrects one dead player of your choice. This one card alone changes the way the original game is played in a huge way. Not only that, but all of the new cards are meant to be played together, each one relying on the existence of dead players throughout the game. With a collection of cards that so effortlessly complement each other, along with a theme dedicated to the living dead, Zombie Kittens makes a strong case for being a standalone game. So, which is it? Is it better as an expansion pack or a base game? Only you can decide. Speaking for myself, I prefer to keep Zombie Kittens separate from the rest of my collection. With so many other expansions already in the mix, I'd rather enjoy this unique spin on the original game completely on its own. But hey, that's just me. Whichever way you choose to play, this set of deadly cards is bound to raise havoc during your spooky game night. Should you get the Good vs. Evil base game or the Zombie Kittens base game? I've gotten this question countless times on this channel, and I'll be giving you my answer right here in this video. To start, let's take a look at the base game that promised to test all of our friendships with literal fire. Launched in the last half of 2023, Good vs. Evil was a highly anticipated game release, due in large part to the fact that it was said to contain the most powerful card in the Exploding Kittens world, the Godcat card. Whether or not the Godcat card is the most powerful card is a question that I cover in my video, the top 10 most powerful Exploding Kittens cards. Regardless of my thoughts on that card, this base game promised to be the biggest thing yet to happen to Exploding Kittens. Did Good vs. Evil live up to fans' expectations? Yes and no. On one hand, Good vs. Evil introduced a new gameplay mechanic never before seen in Exploding Kittens, one where a single card could launch an Armageddon event. In this event, one player would win the Godcat card while the other player would suffer at the hands of the Devilcat card. This alone added something new and exciting to a well-worn game. On the other hand, some fans were surprised at the lack of new cards included in this base game. With a total of 4 new playable cards, Good vs. Evil came stocked with cards that players had already seen before. This led to many fans feeling underwhelmed by all the hype that led up to the game's release. Then again, Good vs. Evil wasn't meant to be a new expansion pack, but rather a new base game. It makes sense that previously established cards would need to be blended in with the new cards in order to round out the gameplay experience. But when advertisements make it clear that fans are getting something entirely new, you can't blame a person for feeling a little shortchanged. At the end of the day, Good vs. Evil is a perfect fit for the fan that craves the fun of the original base game, with some cutthroat gameplay mechanics thrown in for good measure. And now let's take a look at the base game that brought the world of Exploding Kittens surging back to life. Taking the world by storm in the summer of 2022, Zombie Kittens crept up on all of us like the living dead, only to sink its teeth into us with some truly zany surprises. Not only did Zombie Kittens give us 7 brand new playable cards, but it also gave us the Zombie Kitten card, a card that not only diffuses an Exploding Kitten card, but also brings one dead player back to life of your choosing. In short, Zombie Kittens was less of a base game spin-off and more of an all-out expansion. Not only could Zombies stand on its own as an excellent game in its own right, but it could also be easily added to any other base game or expansion in your collection. This instantly made Zombie a standout in the Exploding Kittens world and a must-have for fans everywhere. The only downside to this base game is that it doesn't work very well with 2 players, as it relies on you having dead players to resurrect. Without question, Zombie Kittens is a perfect fit for the fan that's ready for a bold and exciting new adventure in a post-apocalyptic world. With that said, which base game should you pick up? While both base games add a fresh spin to the gameplay that we all know and love, there's no question in my mind that Zombie Kittens is your best bet. The sheer amount of awesome new cards that you get with this base game is amazing, and the overall theme of zombified felines is purely genius. That said, Good vs. Evil still adds some fun wrinkles to the gameplay and is still worth picking up if you want to round out your Exploding Kittens collection. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it helped you make a decision. Take care, and I'll see you around.